What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me today. Please keep subscribing, comment, share, turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That is you liking the video. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys are doing fine. Hope you are good. Hope you are enjoying the Hamatan. Hamatan is kicking our ass here. Hope you're enjoying it. This is probably my favorite, not probably, this is 100% my favorite um weather condition ever. Amatan, I love it. I love to, cover my body under the warm duvet and everything. I feel warm. And I love to leave the windows open. So I feel cold, actually. So I'm weird like that. Thanks for joining me today. Oh. I'm back again with another opinion of mine that you didn't ask for, but I'm gonna give it anyway because I'm the generous queen. And if I don't tell you people, what am I supposed to tell? Hmm? So, I watched this guy's interview on the podcast, The Honest Bunch, Oladips. He spoke out for the first time after his miraculous death and resurrection. I call him Lazarus. Lazarus. That's his new name, Oladips. So apparently he's the one that sang this song La Kulala or something like Shaking La 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 Kulala, that song. And he was signed to Reminisce. What's his record label yourself? If I can find out, I'll put it here. Was signed to Reminisce. And watching that interview, I like the fact that he took some accountability for some of the things that happened. He acknowledged his fault, or let me say he pushed the blame on his team. Yeah, watching it, he pushed it on his team and he said, I wasn't with my phone. I was far gone. I was unconscious. I didn't have possession of my phone or my social media or anything. So the person that had my phone posted it. Even though he didn't tell us the person, we don't need to know the person. He said that. So he pushed the blame over to, I mean, when somebody says that I was unconscious and somebody took my phone and posted it, what more can you say? You still cannot keep blaming the person. But there are some things he said about how he started his music career, how he was formerly a footballer and people thought he was going to be a footballer. Then somehow he stumbled upon a page where they would write things, lyrics and everything, and and then he realized that he had the talent and he could write and he could rap, and he started rapping, and then he already had his own fan base. Then I think he was also friends with Zlatan. Zlatan is friends with everybody in the industry. The guy is probably a stand-up guy. I don't know. From his songs, it seems like he's one, you know, if you understand what I mean. But from what a lot of people have been saying about him, it seems like a really good guy. See, this is why you are not supposed to judge people by their cover. I know people judge people by their cover a lot, book by their cover, but this is why you shouldn't do that. The perfect example of why you shouldn't do that. So he's friends with Zlatan. I think they've been friends since they were kids or so, because he said at some point during the interview that they grew up together. So he said these things and how he got signed to Reminisce. Reminisce signed him and he released the song Shaking La 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 Kukulala under Reminisce. That aside, this just made me want to talk about how a lot of people in the industry, or how a lot of musicians in the industry feel like once they have made it or once they have blown and they have their own record label, or they are so huge now, they have their own fan base, they should have a record label. Like automatically they think they should have a record label. And I just think, why? Why? And in my I couldn't come up with something better than the fact that they just want to be the boss. They see their bosses, the bosses of their respective record labels, and then they admire them and they want to also be in that position of being the boss, of running things. They forget something, that because you are talented when it comes to making music doesn't mean you are also talented when it comes to marketing the music. Because you are talented when it comes to making music, marketing your own music doesn't mean you are talented when it comes to marketing other people's music. Doesn't mean you can run a label. Doesn't mean you can do the business side. You can run the business side of music. There's the production, there's the making of the music, there's the singing of the music, and then there's the business side of it as well. Some people are masters when it comes to running a business. They are so great. They cannot sing. Some can sing as well. Example, Don Jazzy. Don Jazzy has a very good voice. Okay. He's also a master when it comes to marketing, sourcing for talents, pushing talents, investing in talents. That is what he does. That is what he knows. So you cannot compare such a person with somebody that is also pushing himself, making his own music, pushing himself, and also trying to push another artist, and also trying to market another artist. I think it's so unfair that a lot of these artists do that. They do that to these upcoming artists. They automatically assume that, oh, they are big now, they have a fan base, so they can also have their own record label. I mean, what is there? Is it not to release music? But they do not push these artists enough. We have seen a lot of labels that once the artists get so big, they leave their record label, they go have their own record label. Then they do so well when it comes to pushing their own music. We have artists like that. Adekunle Gold is an example of that artist. He has his own record label. I don't think he has any other artists. He's the one on his record label and is pushing himself and is doing great. Simi also. We have who else? I think Burna Boy also has his own record label. Like that. These people are still pushing themselves. And there are some that they got so big, they had their own record label, they signed other artists, and the artists are doing well. We have people like Davido. Even though, let me put Davido. I mean, Davido has given us Miyokun, he has given us Peruzzi, and etc. Olamide is also one. Who else? I don't think there's anybody else. Also, what's his name? Kiss Daniel is also an example of an artist that got big and he has his own record label and he did not sign anybody else. I don't think he has signed anybody else. It's just me and my record label, and he's doing great. And I think they have realized that they cannot push another artist out right now under their record label and give them 100% and push them so well that they will exceed or get to that maximum potential. Do you understand? So this is the case of Reminisce. He signed these artists. I mean, gave them this dream, like, oh, we are going to go places and all of these things and whatnot. And at the end of the day, he couldn't do what he promised to do. And he benched them. He shelved them. And it is so unfair, especially after these people have signed their contract, and it's not easy to get out of your contract like that. So a lot of these record labels now, they take advantage of the fact that this artist wants to blow, this upcoming artist, they want to blow. So most of them, they don't even read their contracts. Imagine for example, this Kiss Daniel's drama that happened way before he left G Worldwide. It was after he left G Worldwide that we realized that it was placed on salary. He was paid 40,000 naira per month. They gave him a car. I think they gave him somewhere to stay as well, but they paid him 40,000 naira per month. And most of these artists, they just take it because they feel like, you know what, once I have my fan base, I can do whatever I want. But at the end of the day, you sign a contract, and you don't know what the contract is. I mean, you don't know what it entails. Some people just sign the contract and think, I will breach it at the end of the day. And that is what happened with Kizani, and he had to change his name from KISS Daniel to KIZZ or ZZ Daniel. That's what happened because his record label owns the name Kiss Daniel. So he has to change into Kiss Daniel. Imagine somebody as talented as that, somebody who gave us hits. His debut album was filled with hits from beginning to the end. He was paid 40,000 naira per month. 40,000 naira. And this guy was busy singing Lotori Meloje BC. He had a song Grabber singing Lotori Me. I was like, on top 40,000 naira. You must be kidding. Oh, Nepal just brought light and they took it again. These people. That's by the way. So thank God he's very talented. Thank God they already pushed him. Thank God they already invested in him so much, and his talent also spoke so much for him that he garnered a lot of support and he had a lot of fans in such a short period of time that he could stand on his own, that he could have his own record label and stand on his own. And I think he's doing such a great job managing himself. I don't know if he has a manager, but at least being his own boss, having his own record label, and also producing good music. Example of people that I feel like their head gets so big and they feel like they can stand on their own. I don't want to mention any names, but let me see. Ricardo Banks. I feel like if Ricardo Banks had stayed with Maven, his career wouldn't have gone the way it went. He's still singing, oh. He still dropped. I mean, he dropped Ozumba by the way, and I think he has another single out. Excuse me. I think he has another single out. But for his level of talent, I mean, he's good with lyrics. I've heard some of the songs that they had together, Mavins, that they had together, Ricardo, Bello, Dijan, all of these people. I listen to the lyrics and you will definitely hear and see the substance in his lyrics compared to the others that were signed with him. You know, he's very good, and he left the record label in such a hurry to have his own record label. And what happened to his career at the end of the day? Thank God he has talent, or else we wouldn't have heard anything else about him. Anything. So that's the case with Reminisce. He has his own record label. I feel like he would have done better just having his own record label and being the only artist on his label, not having any other artist. But to sign these artists and not push them, it's not fair. It is not fair. So that's what happened with Oladips. They didn't push him enough. His record label didn't push him enough. They signed him. Even from his interview, he had to do some things by himself. He paid for some things himself. He paid for a video himself. He got a collab with Miyoko himself. And he has a record label. He's not supposed to be doing all those things himself. I mean, he can try to facilitate some things, but he's not supposed to be doing everything himself. He has this song with Miyoko. According to him, he released the song, but it was time to shoot the video. They wouldn't give him the money to shoot the video, and even Miyoko had to call him that, you know what, maybe I can pay 50% out of how much will it cost. Maybe I can pay 50%, but at the end of the day, they couldn't. And he also said he had somebody on the record label with him before that one had a falling out with Reminisce, and Reminisce called him and said, do you two want to leave? Do you want to leave? And he said, no, I feel like you should have just said yes and you should have left the record label at the time, because Reminisce was, I think he realized that, you know what, I think I might have beaten more than I can chew, and he wanted to just let them go. He realized that he could not do it. He could not run a record label, a successful record label. and he just wanted him to, take a bow, just leave the record label. But he insisted and he stayed back. And I think what they did was they tried to frustrate him so he could leave eventually. They shelved him, they didn't promote his songs, all of these things, all the things they were supposed to do, they didn't do the things, and they frustrated him until he left. And when he left, they had a falling out as well. And um, allegedly, yeah, he heard that the allegedly again paid some radio stations not to play his songs, some of these things, and that was where his issue started from. That was where he started having the mental health decline. So that's what happened. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Because you are big, because you have a huge fan base, because you are so popular now, you are so talented, doesn't mean you can also run a record label. Sometimes some people are just meant to be under a record label. Look outside the country. Look at Hollywood. All of your top artists, how many of them have record labels? Most of them are under record labels. Most of them, even Beyonce. Beyonce has a record label, we know, and she signed Chloe and Ali. And when it was time to promote them, they didn't promote them as much. Thank God those girls have their own talents, have very beautiful voices, and also they got on a show about teenagers and young adults, and they got their fan base from there. Thank God. And I think the other sister had been acting. She was a child actor, and they've also been posting on YouTube, and they've also had their own record, their own fan base as well. They've grown their own fan base as well, so it was easier for them. That's what I'm saying. Beyonce, Rihanna, even with the fact that she has a record label, she's still under a record label. Rihanna is under a record label, Nicki Minaj under a record label, Drake under a record label. I mean, most of them. Taylor Swift under a record label. Most of them, they are still under record labels. So I don't know why Nigerian artists, once they release one album or two albums, they want to go and have their own record label. You don't have to. You don't have to. Be truthful to yourself. Don't lie to yourself and feel like, don't let pride take over and say, oh, I want to have my own record label. I want to be my own boss as well. Look inward and tell yourself the truth and realize that, you know what, I can't do it. Let me just stand out on my record label. But if your contract is bad, you can leave. Okay? If your contract is bad, you can leave. You can have your own record label, or you can go to another record label. Then they do them. Well, everything I got from that interview, I still don't 100% believe in. I believe he had an issue that they had to, go through traditional means to restore him or whatever. But he's still not being truthful, in my own opinion. He made some comparisons that I didn't agree with. He said some things like, oh, if Mohbad came back, would they tell him to go back and die? Or something like that. I was like, what kind of analogy is that? These two are not the same. Yours appeared to be a stunt because everything happened around the day you were supposed to, or the day before you were supposed to release your album. So obviously people were going to look at you funny, like, what are you trying to do? When Mohbad passed, it was unexpected. It wasn't as if he was posting a day prior that you people should not leave me alone like he was doing. It wasn't like people were expecting him to die, or he was sick. He wasn't sick. It was unexpected. He didn't have an album dropping or anything. So you cannot compare these two situations. And I didn't like that comparison at all. Please don't even try to compare your situation with Mohbad's. Don't even mention Mohbad's name. It's a sensitive topic. When we're talking about your own issue, please don't mention Mohbad's name. It's very sensitive. You said your piece. You were sick. You passed out. They took your phone and they tweeted. By the way, you should probably get rid of that person that made that tweet. Somebody that claims to be your friend comes and lies on you, on your name like that. You should get rid of that person. They are not supposed to be in your circle. You said this and that, and what are we going to do? What are we supposed to do about it? We believe you a little bit, maybe not 100%, but it's okay. Thank God you are fine. Well, good luck to him and his business and his endeavor. I hope he makes it, and I hope he can bounce back from this. And the people that were wishing him death, you guys should stop. It's not nice. So that's all I have to say about this whole thing. So thanks for joining me. Please keep on watching, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you and have a nice day.